What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video, yes, you guessed it, is an awesome video. Well, we haven't seen it yet, but I know it's an awesome video because it's by Lost in the Pond, aka Lawrence Brown. 8 words Britain and America use very differently. Part 9. I don't know where the other 8 parts have gone, but we're on part 9 already. And this is going to be very interesting to me because, again, a lot of these 8 words I'm going to have heard of and hopefully use them the same way that Lawrence did. We'll see. I'll correct him on how I use it if I use it in a different way. But yeah, and then it's going to be weird for me hearing how America use it differently. Again, before we get into it, there's no right or wrongs. I am going to be shocked in this video. I am going to pull funny faces if it is completely strange and foreign to me. It doesn't mean I'm right. That is just where I've grown up. It's all subject to where you've grown up. This is going to be a super interesting one, guys. So hit that like button. Let's try and hit 300-400 likes for a Lost in the Pond reaction video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, because why not? You know, it's a big red button. It doesn't hurt you if you hit it. And I did hear you've got a huge chance, a very, very big chance of finding £1 million. Oh, I should say dollars, actually. Actually, no, we're going to say pound, because £1 million is a lot more dollars than $1 million of just finding that in your back garden. I can't promise anything, but just hit that subscribe button, and it may happen. Now, let's see 8 words Britain and America use very differently.
One thing that you may not know about me is that I am the world's biggest fan of having a bath, or as the Americans would say, taking a bath.
Okay.
Hello, this video...
I use both. Actually, I always say I'm having a bath, but I would say to somebody else, or you taking it. I'd say having, actually. I'd say having more than taking, to be honest with you.
It is sponsored by the Great Courses Plus. I'm Lawrence Brown, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to words, and specifically word differences. Those of you that have followed me since the beginning of time will know that Britain and America are truly two nations divided by a common language. But of course, as we've seen so far in this illustrious series, there are occasions when both countries have different meanings for the same word. In fact, it should ignite in you, as it has done in me, just how common this is by the fact that this is part 9 in the series.
Wow.
In the past, we've looked at both countries' treatment of the word randy, and how not only is the word Derby pronounced differently between the two countries, but doesn't always mean the same thing. And so, without further ado, here are 5 words that Britain and America use very differently. Part 9.
5? It says 8. I think that was a mistake in mistitling. That's absolutely fine. I'll let Lawrence off. He's a legend. His video's going to be awesome anyway, but I did catch him up. Just note that. Slate.
That's it. We're starting today's list with the word slate, and I know what people in both countries are.
We're going to go, we're not going slate tiles. We're going to go abusive, like why are you slating him? Or you don't have to slate me, having a go. I think that's the route he's going to go down, but I'm not sure.
Now thinking, what? The other country doesn't use that type of grey rock to tile their roofs? Well, as I've shown you before, there are, of course, many differences when it comes to British versus American houses. But that is not one of them. No, the difference comes in how British and American people use the word slate as a verb. In the United Kingdom, to slate somebody means to disparage them. So in the early days of my YouTube channel, my British viewers absolutely slated me for making bad beans on toast. Whereas in the United States, to slate something is to schedule. As in, you know, after Lawrence failed to sufficiently butter his toast, the apology tour was slated for the next day. Meanwhile, entry number 2 is slated for right now.
That's strange to me.
Pop, as in pop goes the weasel, which...
Okay, pop, it depends where you are in the country, actually, but I know a lot of people in the UK use pop as a fizzy drink.
When you think about it, is a terrifying image. And of course, in parts of the United States, the word pop is used to mean fizzy drink, and you're probably thinking... that's the difference, but it isn't.
It isn't.
And
no,
that's
because it is in the UK.
I don't know if this is a regional thing, and that's why I never picked it up. The word pop is occasionally used in this sense in Britain.
Yeah,
but in Britain, the word pop is also used as a verb in a manner that it isn't in the United States. Sure, both countries might pop a balloon, but in Britain, a person might pop their clogs. And what does that mean? It's not funny. It means to die.
Oh,
but we also...
God, yeah. We shouldn't laugh at that, to be honest with you. And I was Zoe, but we're telling you that. But I am trying to get my answers in before Lawrence does, because if I'm wrong, you guys can roast me then. And it does show the regional things in the UK are different.
Use the word pop to mean put, as in, ooh, look at Lawrence, he unevenly popped a map on the wall. Isn't he a prat? And if you think at this point that Britain has exhausted all of the ways that it can use pop as a verb, where you can just pop along now, which means go. Whereas in the United States,
I'm just going to pop this water over here. That's used quite a lot. I'd never realised how often pop is used, but
You're all about your pop nouns. Sure, both countries have pop music. And who's the father of pop music? I have no idea, but it was a good segue into the fact that in parts of America, pop means father. Now, if things get really bad, you might well tell somebody to pop along in the British sense while giving them this.
The boot.
Of course, we all...
That's like kick it out, like I'm going to kick you. The boot, it's like you put a boot on your foot because it's a type of shoe, and you boot them. You're going to give them a boot, I'm kicking you out my house? Kinda? No? We'll find out if you guys use it like that.
all know that in Britain, a car has a boot, and in America, it has a trunk.
Oh, we're going
and
car
so that
boot.
begs the question, what use of boot do Americans use that the British don't? Well, the answer is quite nuanced. In the United States, to eject a person from a group setting. For instance, this week, I had to boot out my social media manager because he didn't know how TikTok worked. I'm the social media manager.
Yeah, I know I've paused it a lot in this, but I'm becoming more American. I didn't even think of a car boot, but I do call it a boot, the car boot, not a trunk. But I genuinely thought about the kicking out boot thing. Oh, wow, I feel like an idiot because I explained it to you guys, thinking that was the difference.
I fired myself. But in any event, you might be thinking, well, what do Brits use for this then? And just like in America, there are various terms for kicking someone out. But the one most closely aligned to this is to give someone the boot, preferably a stinky one that they have to take home with them. For example, I am going to give my finance strategist the boot because between you and me, she's crap at maths. All right, I admit I am the finance strategist and I go by Sharon on the weekends. Anyway, while we're on the subject of pushing things out, that brings us on to this.
Catapult.
Catapult. To medieval Britain and American reenactments of medieval Britain, a catapult was/is a large contraption that, for want of a better phrase, catapulted Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman over a castle. That was a reference to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. They're absolutely amazing and I highly recommend them to anyone like me that lives on a third-floor apartment. But in Britain, a catapult can also be a Y-shaped handheld projectile weapon that sadly I've not had in my possession since the age of 9 due to the infamous greenhouse incident of 1990. But perhaps now that I live in the United States, I can circumvent the rules on a linguistic technicality. And that's because here, this kind of catapult is known as a slingshot.
Yep, which is why I said it, because I knew you guys knew it as a slingshot. And in Britain, you do use slingshot as well. It's a common phrase, but catapult also, it can be 50-50. If whatever you say, people understand it.
Sorry, this invisible. Meanwhile, in the United States, the word is often used to mean rise quickly. And this isn't in the context of getting out of bed with haste, because if it was, I wouldn't be able to relate to it so greatly. No, it means rise quickly to a place of prominence. In other words, one day Lawrence was making inaccurate videos about English cuisine, and the next he catapulted his way into YouTube superstardom. And those aren't my words. That. They are my words. In all seriousness, though, the last year on this channel has been amazing. You might almost say that I hit the American version of this.
We've got an ad, because Lawrence is such a legend, we're going to watch it. You know what? I'm not going to edit it out for you guys. Just to show I've got ad blocker. No, just to show I haven't got ad blocker. That's what I was meant to say. Home run, okay.
If you've been watching this particular series on words as religiously as I have, then you'll know that we can barely get through a single video without referencing baseball. As we've seen before, both countries have different meanings for the word pitcher and strike. And so it is true of the phrase home run. Famously, this is the most exciting part, some would say only exciting part, in a baseball game. When a player hits a ball so far, it allows them to run to all 4 bases, is that correct? Yep. I am told that the United States has another meaning for home run, but my mum's watching and I don't want to be demonetized. In Britain, the term home run is often used to describe the final part of a distance. So if you're going on a road trip...
The home straight. I disagree a little bit there with Lawrence, but again, I see where he's going. I would call it the home straight. But again, it could be a regional thing.
And your child asks, are we nearly there yet? You can just tell them we're on the home run. And Americans might recognize this because it sounds like and is used in a similar way to home stretch, which as it happens, we are...
Oh, maybe I meant home stretch. Maybe I am turning American from watching his reactions. I'm basically American Beasley. Never mind UK Beasley, American one now. I should start reacting to UK stuff because I'm American.
Are approaching in this video. Let's count down the top 3.
Okay. NHS.
Yep, appropriately, the third from last entry has 3 letters. NHS. In past surveys, the NHS ranked high among the things that British people missed most when they moved to America.
I'm not
and
surprised.
It's of scant consolation that the United States has its own entity bearing these 3 letters. In Britain, the NHS stands for the National Health Service, a government-run healthcare plan funded by the British taxpayer that was founded shortly after World War II. Strikingly, though, the American use of NHS is slightly older, standing for National Honor Society. This is a scholastic organization that's open to high schoolers who excel in things like leadership skills, academics, and good citizenship. All qualities that in a perfect world would be associated with the following city, but aren't always.
DC, Washington, DC.
You see what I'm doing here? The second to last entry has 2 letters. I'm so clever. And it...
Oh, we've got to have the last one. Surely has to have 1 letter. Imagine if he pulls it off, I'll be so impressed.
Doesn't take a detective to work out what the American use of DC means, but it might take one to ascertain the UK definition. In fact, it might take a detective constable, that's often abbreviated to DC.
I don't even know.
As in, hi, can you put me through to DC Johnson, please?
Okay, it's the coppers pretty much.
No, sorry, can't. DC Johnson is tied up with PC Woods. PC is police constable and personal computer
Deputy constable,
and political correctness and Phil Collins. Of course, in the United States, DC is the shorthand way of referring to the capital city, Washington, D.C. This shorthand use is far less common among Brits, who are more likely to refer to it confusingly as Washington. Of course, the United States has seen many capital cities during its relatively short history, and with a changing nation comes a changing language. Have you ever wondered how English took on a life of its own in the United States?
We have just skipped a little ad break in there, guys. If you want to check out the sponsorship for Lost in the Pond, this video is quite... I don't know how old it is, actually, but if you want to check it out, the link will be at the top of the description. Highly recommend it. And awesome channel, so definitely go and check it out if you want to check out the great courses. Plus, let's carry on.
Below. In the meantime, go and run yourself a nice hot bath in time for the final entry, unless you're American.
The bathroom, yep.
One thing that you may not know about me is that I am the world's biggest fan of having a bath, or as the Americans would say, taking a bath. And
He's definitely having a bath. I've been thinking about it since the intro, and I love baths, by the way. Oh, I could have a bath every single night. Just sitting there, a bit of popcorn in a bowl which just floats. Eat the popcorn. Oh, it is so nice. Such a good feeling. And you're missing out if you don't like baths.
For the first 26 years of my life before I even entertained the idea of moving to America, a bathroom, by its very definition, contained a bath. That's why it's called a bathroom. Additionally, a British bathroom will also contain a sink and sometimes, but not always, a toilet. In America, the script is flipped. If an American asks you, where's the bathroom in this place? They're really telling you, I need to pop to the loo, except they wouldn't use the word loo, or, as we've established, pop. So to recap, a US bathroom will have a toilet, a sink, and usually a bathtub or a shower, but it's not required. That's it for this episode. I'm Lawrence Brown. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter.
Well, go and check Lawrence out. He's a fantastic guy, an awesome channel. We learned some new words there. This is part 9, so if you want me to go back and do part 1 to 8, let me know in the comments, guys. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Have a fantastic day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.